Jetsun Pema just before her vision talk, just for you to know a little bit about her. She is the sister of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the leading force in educating more than 50,000 Tibetan children in exile. After the Chinese invasion of Tibet, Jetsun had to take up her job of caring for the orphan children who were smuggled from Tibet to India. Hundreds became thousands, and they all needed special attention, accommodation, and foremost, education. Through her tireless work, the Tibetan Children's Village, TCV, was established and expanded into a network of schools across India. For 42 years, she was the president of the school system for Tibetan refugee students. She has been committed to her work with Tibetan children for many decades now. They call her Ama La, which means respected mother in Tibetan. In 1995, the Assembly of Tibetan People's Deputies awarded her the title Mother of Tibet in recognition of her dedication and service to Tibetan children and to Tibetan people. Jetsun Pema has traveled widely to speak about the Tibetans and her work at the Tibetan Children's Village. And what an honor it is to now hear you talking here.
Thank you for your kind words. And before I begin my talk, I would also like to thank Losant Tenzila for his wonderful music and songs and the very touching words which most of you would not have understood except for the Tibetans. Anyhow, it's a great honor to be here today, and I would like to first of all thank the organizers of this film festival. I hear that this is the second year, and I hope and wish you all a lot of success, because your vision for this film festival, I think, is something which is very important and which is also very touching to the hearts of the people, especially among the young people, because today it's a world where, there's no border, and also it's a world where His Holiness always says that it's a very interdependent world. And His Holiness always calls himself a citizen of the 7 billion people. And it's a time when there's the internet and there's so much connection between all the different peoples. And I think at a time like this, I think it's so important to emphasize on the oneness of mankind. You can be from Asia, America, North, South America, from all different parts of the world. But as a human family, we are all very much, alike. And I think that we Tibetans, we always feel that the most important thing in one's life is to be able to lead a good life, a meaningful life, but at the same time, a life that is of service to others. And this, film festival, I think it's in a way, a vision to show people that we all live together, that we all want harmony, we want peace, we want prosperity. And at a time like this, this kind of a message is very important. And especially here, where you are very much involved with the young people who are studying in the university, and then also interconnecting with the different directors from different parts of the world. And as you know, this film, Amala, was directed by Gilek Benzila, who was one of our students, and he, a number of our students got together and they said they wanted to make a special kind of occasion on my 80th birthday. But then what happened was the pandemic, and for 2 years they couldn't do anything. But then later on, because I'm now 82, so you can't celebrate the 80th year. So anyway, then they said it'll be good to make, I said I don't want a film about myself, but it's important to make a film about the children's village and how the whole thing developed. And towards this end, Gilek Benzila, he worked very hard and he interviewed me, and then as a result of that interview, he got a lot of different footage from different places, and he put this film together. And I feel that this film is also a film to make the Tibetan children aware of how we all started. And Tibetans, as you know, we left our country, and many Tibetans followed His Holiness in 1959 into exile. And we have now been in exile for over 60 years. But during that time, what was so important, His Holiness always felt that the most important thing that we can do while we are in exile is to give our education a good, to give our children a good education. Because these children are the future seeds of Tibet. And the best way that they can flourish is if they got if they had a good education. And towards this end, we gave the children an education which was modern, but at the same time, an education which is also deep-rooted in our own culture, in our own religion, so that the Tibetan children growing up in exile could be proud of being Tibetans. And this was something we did not because we are so fanatical about our, keeping our identity. It was because of the fact that in Tibet, everything that the Tibetans, cherished, it was being destroyed under the occupation of communist China. And so I think, in a world where everything is now so sort of well known through the internet and everything, but at the same time, those of us, especially the young people who watch the internet and all, the interest is different. So sometimes to bring back people to focus on something which is a little bit different from the everyday life, I think this way of introducing these different films, and also as Ila was saying, the visionaries. I think it's the visionaries who direct a film, they bring this film out, and if people can see the film, I think through the film it sends a very strong message. And I hope that your work with the film, with the what you organize each year, that it can flourish, because I think there are more and more people who are interested in doing something which otherwise you would not really think about, many people. So when you bring it on film, then people see this, and then the strong message is sent across to the people. And I think this is something important, and I wish you all a lot of luck. And then also another thing which I feel is so important is the fact that in this world today, when for the Tibetans, an ancient Greek philosopher said that the greatest loss for anybody is the loss of your country. But then also I believe that even if you lose a country, you lose your country, but at the same time, it's so important to keep your identity alive. Because when you keep your identity alive, no matter, even if you don't have a country, still you retain your identity, and you can keep up your religion, your language, the way you live, your different cuisines. Like today I've never had Turkish and Kurdish, I've never tasted, Turkish and Kurdish dishes. And then this was another way of introducing something new. And I think if this kind of meeting is held from time to time, we learn so much from each other. And then also, interaction with the different people, and also knowing about the different, be it religion, be it culture, be it about the environment, be it all different aspects of life. So this way, you carry a very strong message. And so it's a great pleasure that we are here today, and I'm really grateful to the organizers. You, with great difficulty, you don't have financial backing, you all do the work voluntarily, and then also, that's also an example that you do this out of your interest, out of your love, and also realizing that this is something where a message can go across. And I sincerely do hope those of you who have attended today and those who will be coming tomorrow and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, that the message can be sent across. And so, as I will have later question and answers, and it's easier for me to answer questions rather than to give a long speech, So thank you very much. And once again, thank you to the organizers. Thank you.